Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an Overreaction Monday on this 6th of October, 2025. DJ Yokley, Anthony Hartwig with you. I'm sorry, Ant. Let me start that over. DJ Yokley with you, as well as the 8-time best-selling author, world traveler, Grammy and Emmy Award winner, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Ronald Hartwig.
It's that interest in my contract. So
almost blew that one. Blame it on this guy. We were talking before the show. You ever wake up and you're just like, ugh, like,
yeah,
nope, I should just stay in bed all day.
Ache, like the joints ache. You're like, oh, why did that hurt?
Yeah, like the neck. Yesterday was sore throat. Today's like every other part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Just
that
need
time.
to go back to sleep.
Weather's changing. That brings some ickiness.
Changing. The times are changing as well. Bob Dylan, I'm pretty sure. Or, yeah, I think that's him. The professor will get me right because I'm pretty sure it's Bob Dylan, but it could be. Hey, who knows?
He just leaned back in his chair in the background. He's like, he's ready.
Could be Taylor Swift. I don't know, which is going to be my spark because you know, the Yokley children and Papa Yokley, yours truly, Swiftie. I don't know that I can let my children listen to that album.
She got a little racy in this album. Little scandalous.
I don't think it has anything with race. It has a lot to do with spice.
Little innuendos in there.
Little, big.
Some double entendres.
Especially the song "Wood." Well, I don't know what I was expecting listening to that song. That got turned real quick. Everybody knows about Travis Kelce's business right now. My goodness. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
He had to be a co-writer on that song. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, put that in there. Call it a Redwood.
Yep. That's it. I had to answer some questions about that song.
Derpy says, yes, it's Bob Dylan, so he can confirm. Derpy's excited about today's show.
After meeting Derpy on Friday, I'm not sure that I trust fully the Derp anymore. If we're being completely honest, I'm not sure. I love the Derp, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure that we're there in our relationship that I trust Bob Dylan to the Derp. It is an Overreaction Monday. There's a lot to overreact about. Boy, oh boy, is there. And there's a lot to look forward to on Friday, including the men of Derp themselves, the Girard Indians, taking on the Poland Bulldogs in what is undoubtedly the game of the year in high school football. I mean, it all comes down to this. All the chips in the pile. And we have seen both of these teams all year. They are both very good. As they exhibited on Friday night. Man, got to see that live and in person with the professor, who we'll bring it on shortly here on this Overreaction Monday. Boy, AJ Pearson's is as advertised.
Yeah.
Legit. Both sides of the football, legit. And with more on that, the only man that can stack up to the resume of one Anthony Ronald Hartwig is a man that we roll out the purple carpet for, the professor at Mount Union University. I believe it is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer the Muck. It's MUU. UMU. UMU. Not only is he a professor of Mount Union University, University of Mount Union, he is the professor of your heart. He will steal it, and he will never give it back. He is a lover, not a fighter. He is the greatest contributor of all time at Your Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Greg McAfee.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Golf clap. Did you like that intro? I botched that one too.
That was a little bit extra. I mean, the greatest contributor of YSN. I don't know if I'm there yet.
He's like, I just got on.
We're setting the bar high. I mean, hard to follow up an 8-time best-selling author,
It is.
Grammy and Emmy Award winner.
There's a lot of good guys on this team that I gotta get past first before I take that title, I would assume.
Speaking of teams, I can't go on without talking about the now defeated Bills football team. What were your thoughts about that last night?
I mean, I was up watching it, and it was just, you can't win a game when you turn the ball over 3 times, especially the way they did. So it wasn't a great game, that is for sure.
A little bit of fumbleitis on both sides in the early going, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of fumbleitis. Josh Allen seemed to, when he was coming up, when he was young, everyone knew him for pushing the ball down the field and everything like that. And he seemed like he was getting back to that a little bit last night, and he was putting the ball in questionable situations. And you can't do that if you're gonna beat a team in that close of a game.
Do you burn those icy white jerseys? Or is that it? Is that all we're gonna see of them?
I don't want to see him again. I mean, they're nice, but I don't want to see him again. When you have some bad juju like that associated with jerseys, I think there have been some teams in this area, if I'm correct, that have just gone away from jerseys they've lost in. So I'm good with that approach. Just throw them in the back of the locker. Let's not.
You will never see him ever again. Greg, you and I got to call. We might as well start where we finished on Friday night. You and I got to call the South Range Girard game. A lot of people, a lot of chatter about how good this Girard team is, and rightfully so. On the other side, there's a lot of bridges that are lined with people jumping off saying South Range is not who we thought they were. Your interpretation of what you saw on Friday night, is it one way or the other, or is there a little bit of spice mixed into both to make this what it is?
So I'll start with the latter. South Range, I think, obviously their record indicates that they're not what they normally are. I would say that South Range moved the ball in Girard better than any team I've seen so far this year, on the offensive side of the ball. They ran the ball at will. Jason Forshak, I mean, he impressed me. If they come out with a win, or big dog of the week, nomination. He was all over the place on both sides of the ball. He played, he ran the ball physically, seeked out contact, and he really impressed me throughout the evening. Obviously there's the angry run of the week out there. I sent you the clip on Friday, DJ, after the game. Truly impressive. I was impressed by South Range's ability to run the ball. It's just Girard is who they are this year. They have an offense that can strike immediately. They scored on one play in the first 2 drives of the second half. And the athletes they have are a big reason why. We talk a lot about AJ Pearson, and when we're calling these games, it's hard to keep stats. It's hard to kind of keep track of everything as we're going through the game. So I was interested to see what the numbers said afterwards. And AJ Pearson had 3 incompletions. He passed the ball 22 times. He had 3 incompletions, 351 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And that's a stat line that he's put up all year long. It's probably one of his better ones, I would say. But then you go and you look at a freshman in Mario Lipinski, 8 catches, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that's not including his 87-yard kickoff return touchdown and a couple pass breakups on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, this team is for real. I mean, we were kind of saying it afterwards in the scoreboard show. There's not a lot of weaknesses that this team has, and they're young. I mean, Lipinski's a freshman, Pearson's a sophomore. They got a couple other sophomore playmakers on the outside. Braxton Sloan was one guy that we talked about consistently throughout the broadcast on Friday, and he had 2 interceptions and a touchdown catch. I mean, they got guys all over the place, and they have a couple seniors that lead the way, and Sam Scott, Alan Hess Cardona, Jaden Wade on the outside. I mean, they got guys all over the place. This team is for real. I've said it all year long, and they have a big matchup coming up on Friday, so I'm intrigued to see how that one plays out.
So when you talk about this Girard team and the way this game went down, and obviously they're going into this big matchup with Poland, both these teams kind of took care of their South Range bugaboos that they've had in the last couple of weeks. Which one do you think is more poised to take that next step? Because it's all about this game now. You took care of South Range, the monkey off your back. But if you don't win this game, it kind of doesn't matter as far as the league goes. Which one do you think is more set up to have that momentum roll into this game?
Well, I mean, Girard's coming off of a win over South Range. So, I mean, you would think that they are able to carry that momentum as much as they can. Poland obviously, beat them 2 weeks ago, and they're coming off of a huge win over, I believe they played Niles this weekend, in a blowout fashion. The thing I find most intriguing about this matchup coming up on Friday is that they're set. Both teams are set up very similar. They have 2 experienced coaches: Tom Pavlansky for Poland, Pat Pearson for Girard, and then they have 2 talented sophomore quarterbacks, David Zipolita for Poland and AJ Pearson for Girard, and then they have playmakers all over the place with a solid defense on that side of the ball. And so it's going to be an interesting matchup. I would think if there's one team that can carry that momentum over, it's got to be Girard, because it's more immediate. It's more, they beat South Range this week. They can carry that momentum over into the next week, where Poland is coming off of a game where, they beat a team that hasn't had a win yet this season. But they were still able to put, I believe, 42 points up on the board. So it's going to be an interesting matchup either way. I think both teams are going to be ready. When you have 2 experienced coaches like these 2 teams have, it's hard. I would say it'd be very difficult for these 2 teams not to be ready Friday night for the implications that are kind of at play.
Another team that is undefeated still to this point, the Canfield Cardinals, go into Louisville and handle business, but things got sticky towards the end. Greg, when you think about Canfield, what they're facing moving forward, we all kind of talked about, hey, if they get past Poland, they could go on a run, and this could be one of those perfect seasons for Coach Ignacio and the boys. You still feeling like, obviously some tough games down the stretch still for the Redbirds, but you starting to feel like this could be a special season in Canfield country?
Yeah, I thought coming into that Poland game, they had Poland, and then I believe they had Hickory, and then this week they had Louisville, all very good teams. I think that was, we've talked about the gauntlet that South Range has towards the end of the year. I think that was the gauntlet for Canfield. And, I don't want to take away anything from the games they have remaining, but this Canfield team is focused. They're going to win game, and no matter in any way they can, whether it's defense, offense, special teams, they're going to take advantage of whatever they can week in and week out, and they continue to show that. This week, obviously, big win over Louisville on the road. Now they get to finish the game out with a couple more games and roll into the postseason. But I think with the way they're winning games, a 2-point win this week, it's going to be. I think it's going to be tough to take them down, but I think they're rolling right now, and I think that's going to continue.
And I think the most important thing about that statement that you said, they can win in multiple ways. We've seen the Cardinals win defensive games. We've seen them win a little bit of a shootout where their offense has to come up with big plays down the stretch. That's a big. I imagine you can agree, but that's a big key going into the playoffs. If you can win in multiple ways, because you're going to come up against different styles of offense, different styles of defense, different teams will want to play you different ways. And if Canfield can say, "Hey, you want to play us this way, we'll win this way. If you want to play us that way, we'll win that way too." What do you see from the Cardinals in that regard?
Yeah, you look all the way back to week 1. Obviously, they didn't have their offense against West Branch, and they were able to score 2 special teams touchdowns and make a couple big defensive stops. And then you go and look at the Poland game, and I think they scored 35 points against Poland, if I'm correct, I believe, where they kind of had everything rocking with some solid defensive plays on the other side of the ball.
Uh-oh.
Zordon has left the chat.
Power Rangers.
My internet's been a little sloppy lately. I will say that.
Okay,
So if it's me, I apologize. But Canfield, I mean, they've been strong all year long, and the thing that's stuck out to me the most is that they have guys stepping up in every which way. I mean, you have obviously the key players like Enzo Coca, quarterback, but they beat Hickory without Donnie Furco, who's one of their gadget guys. He's kind of all over the place. And then I can't remember. I don't know if he played this week against Louisville. I haven't had that's one game I haven't had a chance to watch the tape yet. But I mean, they have guys that can do things in a myriad of ways, and when they have injuries, they have other guys who are able to step up and rise to the occasion.
All right, so we go on to a team that was also amongst the undefeateds and is no longer. When you go to the Eagles' Nest in Hanoverton, it was United and East Palestine, and you and I were watching that game atop Rominger Stadium, and man, Palestine was keeping track, and then all of a sudden it looked like United took over. Greg, does this one loss affect East Palestine that greatly, or is it a situation where they just move on and continue to fight and hope kind of the things go their way in the rest of the EOAC? You've got Freeze Palestine. You have this week against Letonia. You have next week against Columbiana, and then you finish off the season with Valley Christian. Your thoughts on the trajectory and how the EOAC shapes up given this win/loss for both teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think for East Palestine, we've talked about it throughout the course of this season. I think for good teams like East Palestine, for undefeated teams like East Palestine was, I feel like you always have to suffer a loss to learn more about yourself. And sometimes a loss like this to a team like United that's always been good, that they're always in the playoff picture, they're always in the conference title picture. You can take away a lot from that. You can learn a lot from those type of games. And with 3 games left, they have the opportunity to show it, especially through these last 3 games. I mean, you have a tough matchup in Columbiana coming up. Valley Christian, I don't think, is a team you can overlook, and Latonia is not a team you can overlook either. I mean, you have to stay focused through the last final 3 games of the year, but I think they've shown the ability this year to spread the ball around, run the ball, and put the ball in the end zone. And one just from looking at like the numbers and the box score from that game, one thing that kind of stood out to me was Zach Chanel, who's been a guy that can run the ball at will throughout this year, only had 30 rushing yards. So when you do that, you make teams one-dimensional, and that kind of stuck out. I mean, obviously United was able to take advantage and come out on top.
The other thing United was able to do in this game is score at will. I mean, it seemed like everything they did on offense, it worked. What do you think can going forward? I mean, if United has that kind of offensive firepower, are we talking huge deep tournament run in, I believe, D6 for the Eagles? Do you think that kind of offense can carry them into a deep playoff run?
Yeah, I mean, when you have the ability to score the ball in multiple ways, and it's not just on offense. I mean, I think last week they had 2 pick sixes and a fumble recovery, if I remember correctly, for touchdowns, and they're able to run the ball. And I believe this week they showed the ability to score through the air as well. So I mean, kind of in the same way Canfield. I mean, when you can operate in different ways and take advantage of what defenses are showing you, or even have defenses step up to put the ball in the end zone, that's the recipe for a good deep playoff run. And I mean, you got to remember, this United team, their only loss this year is to Mineral Ridge, and Mineral Ridge obviously showcasing what they're capable of doing this year as well. So I mean, that's one hiccup on their schedule that looks like, all right, Mineral Ridge is a good team. That's a good, no loss is good, but that's a good loss to learn from and kind of build on. And that's what they've done so far this year.
Another week, and that means we're 1 week closer to what you and I deem one of the best games of the year in the MVAC as McDonald escapes. You and I were watching that one as
Yeah.
well
Mhm.
in Rominger Stadium. And boy, to be able to get away, to slip away with a victory
Mhm.
there sets up quite the conundrum potentially in week 10 as McDonald goes down to Mineral Ridge. We're going to talk about this every week until we get there because either one
Yeah.
team or the other escapes kind of the sentence of, shaking it up. How exciting is this game going to be when it comes back to essentially Dan Williams versus Andy Hake, a throwback
Yeah.
game, if you will, and two teams that are valiantly fighting for that MVAC championship?
Yeah, I mean it's a matchup I've been looking forward to all year long, and I see the comment that United did lose to Crestview. I think United's one loss was to Mineral Ridge, so I got that wrong there. Kind of the same concept though. United losing to a undefeated Crestview team is one of those. It's a good loss for them. As far as McDonald and Mineral Ridge go, it's a matchup you look forward to every year. I mean, it's a rivalry matchup. It's two teams that do not like each other, and I'm sure there's going to be some physicality to that one as well. Given how both teams play, it's going to be a good matchup. Obviously, both teams have their guys that they lean on, and it's kind of building towards that. I mean, we looking at the scoreboard on Friday, it was I think Lowellville was up at one point, and I'm like, is Lowellville going to take this again? Are they going to upset McDonald? Because you got to remember, Lowellville is the team that ousted McDonald from the playoffs last year in the first round. So there's a little bit of sour taste in McDonald's mouth from that loss last year coming into this year. So it definitely wasn't the way I saw that game going, but it was a good matchup. And I mean, leading to that week 10, Ridge McDonald, it's going to get interesting. But I don't think both teams still have Springfield on their schedule, and I don't think the Tigers are a team that you can overlook at this point in the season. They started to develop their identity under first-year head coach Adam Slopek, and Alex Caldwell has really come into his own as a sophomore running back there. He's really become the workhorse of that offense, and they're cruising right now.
And Mineral Ridge was sweating for a little bit in their game. I mean, it was 14-13 at halftime, and everyone's sitting there like, is Campbell going to give them a run for their – but then obviously Mineral Ridge kind of made some halftime adjustments, and I think won the second half. What that would be 35-0 if my math is correct. They won 49-13. So obviously some good halftime adjustments from Andy Hake. But there was a moment there where we thought both those teams were going to be in a trap game against Lowellville and Campbell. So yeah, good for them both to escape that. And once again, don't look ahead until you get to week 10, because if one of those teams falls before week 10, that game becomes kind of not as meaningful as it would have. On the other side of the MVAC, on the grade tier, Crestview's rolling. Garfield had one of the most exciting wins you'll ever see on the network with the walk-off victory against the Liberty on the road. These two teams are on a collision course as well. What do you see out of that side of the MVAC in this upcoming matchup between Garfield and Crestview?
Yeah, before I get to that matchup, I got to give big shout outs to Hannah Timmons, who was the Garfield's kicker that hit the game winning point after attempt. She had missed 2 earlier in the game, comes back, drills the one that's the most important. But obviously in the MVAC, there was kind of the same situation that NE8. You had 3 teams that were kind of in the mix. South Range, Girard, Poland, and then you had in the MVAC, you have Liberty, Garfield, and Crestview. And now Garfield gets past Liberty and sets up that matchup on October 17th, which is going to be a good one. I mean, these are 2 teams that are kind of on a roll now. Obviously, Garfield rebounded from that loss to Edgewood in week 1, as Sam Torres loves to remind us of, and they're rolling. I mean, and they've been able to do it in multiple ways. I was kind of looking at that box score after the game, and one thing that really stood out to me was they weren't just running the ball; they were passing the ball as well. I mean, Braden Bogucki had 7 receptions for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Ryder Kane on the ground, 23 carries, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they are able to do it in a multitude of ways, and just showed kind of how multidimensional that they can be down the stretch, which I think is a good thing heading into the tail end of the season, and sets up a pretty interesting matchup with Crestview.
Greg, in your estimation, who won the week? What one team stood out to you as a team that just owned week 7?
as much as I hate to kind of continue to harp on it, but I think it's Girard. I mean, I thought heading into this week, South Range was a team that could, I mean, obviously a team that has dominated them since 2019. I mean, Girard had never beaten South Range heading into this game, and they came out and they set the tone early. They set it fast. They scored quickly. AJ Pearson didn't fall to the moment. He kind of stood up and obviously had the game that he did, and they won on, I think, in all three facets of the game, outside of probably their running defense. And when you're able to do that against a proven programs like South Range, even if they're in a down season, I think that shows a lot about what they have. Obviously another big challenge this coming week against Poland, but I'd be hard to say that it wouldn't be the Indians. I mean, there's another couple teams. Obviously, Boardman had a big win over Harding that you like to talk about. That's a big win. Obviously, Struthers got their first win of the year. That's a big one. And McDonald stayed undefeated, and so in Canfield. So, there's a lot of teams that around the area that had big wins, but I would say Girard was probably the most important for them.
Who, in your estimation, now I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but who now needs a win in week 8 more than anybody out there?
Needs a win in week 8 more than anybody out there.
Who needs to own week 8?
Well, I mean, you look at everything around the area, and obviously the Girard Poland game is important because of the title implications on the line. But if you look at like playoff pictures, if you look at postseason type stuff, Boardman's got to continue what they are doing. Obviously, the big win over Harding is huge. I know they were right on the edge of the playoff picture going into this week. A big win over Harding is huge for playoff points moving forward and kind of puts them into a better position. If they can continue to show who they are, continue to come out with wins, I'm not sure who they have this upcoming week, but if they can continue to do what they're doing, that's going to be huge for the Spartans. It's going to be huge for head coach DJ Doda, and they could find themselves in the playoff picture moving forward.
And then finally, one more question for you. Whose fan base deserves to overreact and be celebratory here in week 7 heading to week 8?
I mean, I think Canfield, I mean, that's a huge win over Louisville, 2-point win over Louisville. That's a huge one. Mooney escaping over Cheney, that's another big one. I mean, they're still in, obviously the top 5 of Region 17, and a win over Cheney, crosstown rival, that's a big one. I mean,
hey, correction. The number 1 team in Region 17, Division 5.
They're number 1 now.
They are number 1.
That's interesting.
Poland is number 2.
That is very interesting.
Girard's number 3. Garrettsville Garfield number 4. St. Clairsville number 5. Manchester number 6. Claymont number 7. South Range number 8. Pymatuning Valley, almost dropped it. Pymatuning Valley number 9. So I mean, it shakes up, and obviously you've got a lot of did I disappear?
No, you're there. I see you.
Okay. A lot of intrigue in the last 3 weeks of the season, especially in that because Mooney plays South Range, Poland plays Girard.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that can go down, and obviously you already mentioned Garfield playing Crestview, which could shake things up a little bit. So put your kind of wizard hat on because you're a warlock. We all know that. If you were to guess, how would Region 17 shake out at the end of the year? If you're looking ahead, you're getting in your DeLorean, what are we looking at as we look towards the playoffs?
Like rankings wise, or are we looking at who? Okay.
1 through 4. You only got to do 1 through 4.
Okay. Man, this is real overreaction Monday. I'll put Girard at 1. I'll put Poland at 2. No, I'll put Mooney at 2. I'll put Poland at 3. And I think South Range at 5 by the end of the year.
Ooh.
See, that's interesting, Greg, because Mooney's going to be at 2, but if South Range gets that high, that means they beat Mooney. So you think Mooney's going to lose to South Range, but still stay at 2? That's interesting. That's very interesting.
It is. I mean, a whole bunch of math goes into it. I can't do math quick on my head. I think Mooney's going to have a good end of the year. I think South Range still has Hubbard, so that's points right there. I think they beat Hubbard, and then obviously Girard I think has the chance to take out Poland this week. They still have Hubbard on their schedule as well, so that's more points for Girard to kind of climb to the top. It's going to be interesting the last 3 weeks of the season.
Does the open space in week 10 for Mooney hurt or help them?
That's a good question. I think that it could help them in a way. Because you get to a point like that South Range Mooney game's week 9, correct?
Yep.
So they solidify their spot with that game. And it's not they can't necessarily climb, they can't necessarily fall depending on what happens in front of them. So in a way, I think it could both help and hurt them in a way, depending on kind of how the rest of the schedule falls. But right now, being number 1 in the region, I think that only a loss could really hurt them kind of moving forward. And they got a couple of good games left. That South Range game is going to be important for them in terms of rankings wise. And if they come out on top, they could continue to be where they are at the end of the season.
It's going to be interesting on a lot of different fronts because this first year they're doing that, 12-team playoff. First 4 teams get a bye. I'm excited for it. I'm here for it, but I think there's going to be mass chaos because there's going to be a lot of teams that don't want that necessarily bye for week 1, but they're stuck. So we will see because that could be Mooney 2 weeks in a row. You don't play for 3 weeks of football.
And that could be tough. That kind of situation could hurt them going into the playoffs. But I would assume, with all these coaches around the area, they're going to have their guys ready to go. They're going to find some way to keep them in game mode and keep them moving forward into the playoffs and find a way to do it once the postseason comes around.
They always seem to, right? So what's any different this year? So 2025, that's it. Greg, thank you as always for stopping by and giving us your best overreactions. And I do some great points, salient points, salient. It doesn't matter. Potato. You made some great points today on the show, and we certainly appreciate you, the professor, stopping by. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg McAfee.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
Have a good.
And that's why I say he's the best contributor. He's definitely a member of our team, so he's like, kind of not in the contributor role anymore. But boy, he brought it. He brings it every week, but he brought it especially this week.
Especially like when we put him on the spot, he's up for it. Because there are times when we're like, hey, we haven't prepped you, but we're going to ask you this question. And,
there's zero prep, zero prep that goes into any of what we talk about with Greg. Like he's never asked for it because we're not going to give it to him.
Because we're not going to give it to him.
I want honest reactions. I want honest feedback, and he is the best when it comes to. He really is. Because you got our slap idiots like us that are sit and talk about it every day, and then you got a guy that actually studies, like Greg, the professor. What's your take on this? Sam Torres with a little overreaction Monday. Bye week is terrible in my opinion.
I don't think the Ashtabula County schools will have to worry about it, but sorry.
That was cold-blooded.
Had to throw in. But when I'm thinking about, I think there are pros and cons, and we've talked about it before. I think there are teams that could really benefit from the bye if they get it because, they've been banged up. They're dealing with some injuries, but there are also those teams that will be rolling into the season that want to keep playing, and then all of a sudden they have a bye week, and that momentum kind of gets lost a little bit. It's also, we've talked about it, there are a lot of high schools that don't know how to deal with the bye week because it's not built into a high school football schedule. We're not like college and NFL. We don't have that built-in bye week for everybody. So there are teams out there that are like, what do we do to handle a bye week? We've never really had to function for this before. And how they handle that will be crucial because you can really hurt yourself on a bye week. You can really get yourself ready to go on a bye week. It's how you navigate it. So it'll be interesting. I think there are definitely schools out there that are like, yes, let's get the bye. There are probably schools out there that are like, hey, if we're 5, Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. So we'll see.
Shout out to whoever's pushing the vacuum around here. Good to see athletics keeping things clean at noon, between noon to 1. Love it. Next question is, what team do you think will go undefeated? 10-0.
Right now, I'm with Greg because I think he kind of alluded to this. We didn't ask him this like on the nose, but I think Canfield has the best chance to go undefeated. I think this gauntlet that they were in, this midseason gauntlet, is kind of over, and if they take care of business the rest of the way, they have a good shot to go 10-0 on the season. So I think Canfield probably has the best chance. I still like Girard's odds. If they're able to get past this polling game, they're going to be rolling into that 10-0 record. So Girard still has a solid chance, but Poland's right there. So I can't give Girard that crown yet of the team that has the best chance to go 10-0 because they have a big monster right in front of them that they still have to get past before they are able to say we can go 10-0 legitimately.
All right, hang tight. I'm looking up Canfield's remaining schedule here. We got John Marshall, Howland, and Boardman.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about John Marshall. Obviously, Howland and Boardman are both YSN schools. Boardman is that one that can get kind of sticky. Boardman's been up and down this year. They just got a win over Warren Harding, a comeback win, where they were down 10-0 and won 14-10. They play good defense. They're right there. Howland's obviously struggling this year, but that's a rivalry. That's an AAC kind of game. So I don't want to overlook those teams, but I think Canfield has gotten through. You could say the toughest part of their schedule. When you come down to teams with winning records that are out there, winning weekend. We got like Louisville was a one-loss team coming into that game. So they obviously knew how to win going in. So I think when you think about the toughest part of the Canfield schedule, it is past them.
Listen, I'm not going against the commenter here. Crestview has Champion, Garrettsville, Garfield, and then LeBray. And I get that that's a tough win potentially against Garrettsville, Garfield. Hang on, the stupid light. It is away. That is the only caveat to my Crestview pick of going 10-0 is it is hard to win in the Ville. They got all those. I mean, grass, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Grass, and they have a lot of spectators that are right on that fence. So you're going to be hearing a lot of chatter when you're on there because they're.
Yes, but there's also, I mean, that win for Garfield last week, I think gives them a nice little buzz going into the final 3 in the stretch of the season. They play a different brand of football. Now, we've seen it. Crestview absolutely dominate and make teams kind of cater to them. You know what it tells me? It tells me we got a great game this week in Poland and Girard. Even bigger game next week in Garrettsville, Garfield, and Crestview. And then week 10, we got McDonald Ridge. Like, how can you not love what is going on right now? It's like God himself said, here you go. Here's the greatest. I'll give you the 10 commandments, and I'll give you the 10 greatest weeks of football you've ever had in your life. Right here. And I'm pretty sure in that order.
It's all lining up.
What a beaut, Clark. I mean, what a season full of games. We've had more than one. Game of the I almost did it. Never mind.
Oh.
Game of the week. We've had more than one every single week. And we've had standout games all season. There hasn't been one just poop down your leg week.
You look at this week, we had 2 walk-off touchdowns to win games. I mean, the last time that's happened, it's a while. We don't get that too often. We get 2 games that really go down to literally the last play of the game. Garfield wins with the touchdown and the extra point, and then Struthers gets their first win of the year with the 40-yard bomb to Postella into the end zone to beat Lakeview on the road, by the way. Both those teams won walk-offs on the road. Garfield and Struthers were both on the road for that. So that's exciting. That's exciting football. You can't get past that.
There's a way Matt Holden has his question. And I think he was trying to lead the witness a little bit with that Crestview pick, by the way, which I'm okay with. But who's got the hardest road to 10-0? And we talked about who we think's going to be 10-0. Who has the hardest road to being perfect this season?
I still think it's Girard. I think Girard's sitting undefeated right now, but that Poland game is going to be very tough. I think that's the toughest 10-0 roadblock right now. There's no shade to Garfield. There's no shade to the teams left on Canfield's schedule, but I think that Poland Girard game, that you have to say that's the toughest game left for an undefeated team. With the way Poland's been playing and the way that Poland was able to beat South Range the week before Girard did in a 34-0, shutout. You got to stack up against that defense and say I think that's the toughest road to undefeated is Girard. But if they come out of it, then they can kind of pound their chest and say we went through maybe the toughest schedule to get undefeated.
I don't disagree with you. But I disagree with you. I think McDonald has the toughest road because they could get to 9-0, and then you go into the house that Hake built, into the Hakeomania dojo, and boy, he's gonna have those kids in that community all cranked up for that, huh? I think that's a tough scenario because we saw McDonald's undefeated. And I'm not throwing shade at our boys in blue, but man, Louisville gave you a fight.
Yeah, but I think that's actually a good thing a little bit because, like, if McDonald's rolled through their schedule and goes to Middle Ridge and they're really feeling themselves a little bit, then that could get dicey. But McDonald's going to go into that Middle Ridge game saying, hey, we've already had our games where we got a little bit scared. Like, we didn't play our best. We escaped. We've already had those kind of games. We've fixed our problems. They're going to go into Middle Ridge with that kind of mindset. They're not going to go into Middle Ridge overconfident or feeling themselves a little bit because they've had games where they almost slipped up. And I guarantee they're going to go into every game from here on out. Like, okay, let's laser focus this thing. Let's make sure that we don't have a repeat of the Louisville game or, quite honestly, the Jackson Milton game, because the Blue Jays a couple of weeks ago also gave McDonald a pretty big scare as well.
All right, tough guy. Leads me to my final question for you. Will there be an undefeated team, and who will it be?
Yeah, there will be an undefeated team, and it will be, I think, Canfield. There you go. I think Canfield's your undefeated team. If I don't do the picks, but I think Poland's going to knock off Girard. I think Garfield's going to snag Crestview in the next week, and that Middle Ridge McDonald game might be the last chip to fall. So I think Canfield's going to be the one standing undefeated at the end of the season.
You don't like Boardman after what they did to Warren Harding, huh?
Not enough offense to combat that Canfield defense, in my humble opinion.
Ooh, I like Anthony getting a little spicy here today. I like it. Showing a little moxie, if you will. I like it. What's Sam saying? I can't read that.
Let's see. Even with the play this year, any conversation in league will revolve around Range and Poland. I think that works to Girard's benefit. Huh? I'm confused. Even with the play this year, the conversation in
Rebs go 10-0. Go Rebs. Go Rebels.
So 4-4. Sam still thinks that at the end of the year, maybe he's talking postseason, people will be talking more about Poland and South Range no matter what happens in the postseason picture, probably because of their success in the postseason last year. And Girard might be under the radar going into the postseason, even if they beat Poland. I don't think so.
I think Girard's.
I think Girard's gotten their share of attention now. I don't think Girard's under the radar anymore. He might have been a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, no, and even more so this week. I think, no matter the outcome, Greg talked about South Range being the team that could move the ball the best against Girard. I think you're going to see Poland do the same thing. I really do. I think you're going to see Poland be the best team to move the ball against Girard. I'm not giving up my pick quite yet.
Yeah, Thursday to come.
Yeah. Hey, if I give him my pick now, nobody's going to watch on Thursday. Sam Torres may not even come on Thursday if I give up my pick right now. And I'm definitely not those little lurchers of trying to get my pick. Like, they're working against me. I swear to you, they're working against me. You should see the conundrums they put me on in that show. But I think that Girard is no longer a situation where they're under the radar. To echo what your point is, Poland's not, Girard's not, and if there is a team that's going to be under the radar and fly under it, it's going to be the team in burgundy and gold. Because there's going to be teams that go, hey, we're going to beat them up. We're going to smoke South Range.
We're taking our shot while we can, right? You know.
And there are, listen, there's a lot of chatter. I mean, two schools I'm very close to took tough losses last week. And all the chatter for them seemingly went away. So if you're talking about East Palestine and you think that East Palestine is just going to roll over the rest of the year because they lost to United, the biggest game, the only game that they care about all year is coming up in 2 weeks against Columbiana. If you think that they're not going to get up for that game, get on with yourself.
No, that's
South Range. If you don't think that they're going to get up for this Mooney game coming up, but hey, they got to take care of business in Niles first. Same thing with East Palestine League tournament.
Hall of Fame game coming up against Niles. A couple of pretty impressive inductees coming out.
I'm really excited to see what kind of transpires. I said it on Friday night, and I'll say it again. And the same can be echoed for teams that are in the hunt in the playoffs or already kind of locked in, not necessarily to their spot, but locked in the playoff picture. These next 3 weeks are accountability weeks. Yeah. Who do you see when you look in that mirror? And you can if you're South Range, you're not feeling great right now. No. Just off 2 tough losses, the first loss ever in the NE8 in your home stadium ever since 2017. You're not feeling real great right now. And what I can tell you is, but you have an identity, right? You are South Range. I mean, there are teams that are afraid to play you because you say, hey, I'm South Range. You cannot feel bad for yourself. You cannot sit there and pout about it. You don't have time to do that because that's when a team like Niles will come in and they will sneak up on you and they will make it 3 straight losses. If you're feeling bad about it, if you're pointing fingers elsewhere, accountability is key, always. Same in East Palestine. A loss in football is always a team loss. Agree or disagree?
I absolutely agree. There's no possible way one person can lose you a football game. Even if it's one of those plays, it's like it's the last play of the game and a kid makes a big mistake or drops the ball or whatever. Like, you have to go back and say, how did we get to this point where it came down to one play? Like, why weren't we a little bit better here, a little bit better there, a little bit better there? People that I know it's easy to think that because when it comes down to that one play, it's so like top of mind awareness that you feel like, well, we lost the game because of that play. But
or the officials,
or whatever or coaching or play calling or whatever it may be. I'm sure there's a lot of spears being thrown in that regard. There's everyone's kind of at fault. You look at that South Range team, especially the last 2 weeks. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds that they have to fix up. But the good news is those are all fixable. It wasn't like they got dominated physically. It wasn't like they were just the worst team. They just made too many self-inflicted mistakes. And if they clean those up, they can sit there and say when they go in the playoffs, like, hey, we're the South Range we're supposed to be.
I think this week in Poland, or in Girard, actually, against Poland, is going to be it's going to be spicy. Yeah. It's going to be spicy because you got 2 teams that it all comes down to this. All of it. Like, everything they've worked hard for. You do not want to give up the title this year. And these 2 teams both exercise their demons against the Range, both on a collision course. I mean, if you cook this up, this is what you want in week 10, obviously. Right. But it ain't bad in week 8. Because that makes things – because then you're looking at, can someone the rest of the way shake things up a bit? Right.
Hubbard's that team. I think they have Girard in week 9 and South Range in week 10, if I'm not mistaken. So Hubbard could be that team. They got a big win against Howland. They're definitely good enough to beat you if you don't show up. So Hubbard could be that team that could like be eyeing some people that I think whoever loses that Poland Gerard game, especially if it's Gerard, because that would be their next game. Hubbard could be that team that's looking like, hey, let's sneak up on these guys and uppercut them when they're staggering back a little bit from a loss.
Randy
I don't think
Riccatelli
DJ
says-
ever said that, by the way, Randy.
He's trying to stir the pot.
He's
Hey, I know those Riccatellis. I know how they operate. He's just sitting there stirring that ice cream pot. Is what he's doing, just cranking it up. No, I would never say that they stand no chance. I'm saying that it is
It's
going
gonna
to be
be a
a
test.
difficult. Boy, is it ever. I believe in what the Blue Devils are doing. I'm not waffling. I've always said I believe in what Dan Williams does, blindly. But I also know that Week 10 is going to be. It's going to be a tough ticket. Let's put it that way. It's going to be a real tough ticket in Ram country. If you're going, make sure you're there early. That's all I'm saying. They'll be parking down at the post office pub and waltzing their way over. Both McDonald and, of course, the Mineral Ridge Rams fans just woo, woo the whole way. And then
I'll have to take a beat from the softball team, walk up to the stadium with the boombox.
Can you imagine Week
49ers.
10? Just I want you to close your eyes and I want you to envision this. Okay, you've got the Army that are the McDonald Blue Devils walking, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, together like the Army, the greatest fraternity in America, the United States Army.
Yep.
They're walking, click, clack, click, clack. They stop. They do their on-field run onto the field. They're celebrating. They're running through banners all the way to that the away side of the stands. The lights go off because at this point, Week 10, it's a little dark early.
Oh, yeah.
All you see is a single light shining down. You see smoke everywhere. And you're wondering, what are we doing? What is going on here? What could this be? What could possibly be happening right now? My skin is tingling. And all you hear is, I am a real American, fight for the rights of, and the lights come on. The pyro goes off, and on come the Mineral Ridge Rams, because you know it's going to be a show. You know it's going to be a show. In my head, that's what it looks like. And Andy Hake comes out with no shirt on, his hat on backwards that says, run the damn ball. On a ram, by the way. He's riding out on a ram. Galloping. He's tamed this ram. I call me crazy. I think it would happen. I think it's a long shot, but hey, it can happen.
I'd pay money to see Andy Hake come out in a ram.
Will you be live on location for that pregame? No, we will not. Unfortunately, we will not. We will be there probably that Thursday night, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That has to be the go-to. So we will probably bypass our Wednesday night show for that Thursday night show. The last show of the year, by the way, on Zone coverage. If Andy Hake comes out on a Ram, Anthony, maybe a Dodge Ram. Maybe there's a Dodge Ram sponsor. A black and orange Dodge Ram.
It's
and
not
he's
the Ram you
carrying.
expected.
How about this? I saw this the other day, and this has got Hake's name written all over it. The truck on the field brings out with a giant. I don't even know what it was. What do you call those things? The wagon? Not a wagon. Covered. I'm drawing a blank. You have like pigs in them, right? Horses, animals.
Oh, a trailer?
There. Thank you, trailer.
Okay.
Idiot. Dumb. Sorry. Bright lights are on. So Andy brings out this trailer, and it's just the offensive lineman. And they
break it out.
They have it rocking and shaking, and then Real American hits, and you drop the hitch on. All the offensive linemen come running out of it. I'd be geeked up. That's what Andy Hake brings. Dan Williams has the Army. Like, he is the commander of that Army. There's no doubt about it. But if you're looking for the moxie, the flair, the woo, 16-time world champion, jet flying, limousine riding, can't keep the Gators down, all that stuff. I mean, there's only one coach that does that.
He's
There's
gonna
only
get a
one.
flyover Middle Ridge. You hear the jet engines in. What was that?
What if we get a flyover and Andy jumps out, parachutes down
Here we go, boys.
to kickstart my heart, just right onto the 50, lands right on the ram, and just Hulk Hogan's it off the parachute. This is stuff we want to see. This is what's going to get attention. Will you be live on location for that pregame?
Oh yeah, we already answered that.
Okay, all right.
But the Ridge boys will be there for that broadcast. So I don't know if they're going to
We'll
do a
have it.
pregame show, but we'll have the stream.
I wonder if Randy's trying to take off his shirt before the show and try to show McDonald's a little wild like that. The Village Creamery, brother. Let me tell you something. Got all the flavors. I still haven't tried it, and I cannot wait to get a minute to get out there, Randy. What you and your family is doing out there is incredible, and I am so pumped to get out there. They have a deal going on, and they're not even a sponsor yet. They have a deal going on. It's like 20. I don't even know what it is. 20 hot dogs or 20. What is it, like chili dogs or something? It's ridiculous. Like, they're almost giving them away. So check out the Village Creamery. Love the Riccatellis. Love everything they're doing out there in McDonald. Just great people doing great things. Not an advertisement, but kind of. You don't owe me free ice cream or anything, but I might ask for the kids.
I'm going to ask for some.
Hey, Z wants an ice cream cone. Bella wants an ice cream cone. We good with that? We all right? I'll give you some free advertising. There's millions and millions of people watching right now. At least 40 of them.
At least for the Blue Hearts. I think that's a yes for the free ice cream. I think that's a
Is that what the code is for free ice cream? Is 3 Blue Hearts?
Chili dogs.
20. Challenge accepted. Suck it on, chili dogs outside the Tasty Freeze. That's what Sam's looking to do. Let's get to our spark. No. We have a new segment. We have a new segment on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and against my better nature, we're doing it. There's a lot of people that have said, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You can't do that. You guys are all we are all positive. However, if I get voicemails or emails on my personal inbox, there's the line, and hopped right over it. And this is something, and it's not new that we get. I don't even know how to describe it, hate mail, but it's something that I've always wanted to bring to people's attention, just from a standpoint of pure comedy. And so we are debuting on this show the YSN Mailbag, and it's YSN Mailbag Monday. So welcome in YSN Mailbag. We appreciate you. So let's set the stage, shall we, Anthony? On Friday, October 3rd, I believe.
Yes, 3rd. Yes.
We covered how many games, approximately?
25 games.
25 football games on October 3rd. Archbishop Hoban was not on the schedule because
Archbishop Hoban had a bye week.
They had a bye week. And we love Archbishop Hoban. We've taken lots of strays for our coverage of teams that aren't necessarily, quote unquote, in the valley. Archbishop Hoban, state championships. Mm-hmm. They've helped us, expand our coverage. They've made us better. What I can tell you is on Friday night, just about halftime, I received a call, as I received many calls on Friday nights, and I don't answer a one of them unless the last name is Yoakley or the first name is Brian and the last name is Scott. Because the fire starts at about 6:50 and doesn't end until about 9:50. So I will address everything then. However, this one particular individual who will go unnamed, but certainly his phone number is out there. Interestingly enough, decided that he was going to text me first about how trash we were and are, and then went on for this. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we open the YSN mailbag to this voicemail.
Trying to watch the Archbishop Hoban Cleveland Glenville football game tonight. It's come back to Hoban weekend, and the live stream is free. Unfortunately, it's provided by YSN, who never seems to have the right damn game on. I'm watching some game from some other, I don't know, city, school, I don't know what it is, but can't get the Hoban Glenville game anywhere. YSN really bites. I'm telling you, every time. 330-524-7876. Bye.
Shall we? One more time?
Play it again. Roll it up.
Trying to watch the Archbishop Hoban Cleveland Glenville football game tonight. It's come back to Hoban weekend, and the live stream is free.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's provided by YSN, who never seems to have the right damn game on. I'm watching some game from some other, I don't know, city, school, I don't know what it is, but can't get the Hoban Glenville game anywhere. YSN really bites. I'm telling you, every time. 330-524-7876. Bye.
I did the best I could to cover up that. Don't text him, Anthony. Don't even think about it. I know you're doing it.
Got the number. I was going to send him a text.
So let's break that down. A couple things. YSN free broadcast, free stream. Yep. Green check on that one. We'll verify that. We never seem to have the right game. Okay. Point
What
taken,
is the right
I guess.
game? I don't know what.
The right game, as a matter of fact, Anthony, I'm glad you asked. It was Glenville and Hoban, which does not happen until this Friday.
Right. Big matchup. And we're going to have it.
Big matchup. Huge matchup. We got it. We just didn't have it last week because it's not played until this week. So I don't know how we were supposed to have it last week. But hey guys, what are you doing this week? Let's just this guy wants to go. Let's get it going.
Do you want to share the text he sent you after when you patiently and politely replied to his voicemail?
On Friday nights, I get a little sensitive sometimes. Get a little sensitive. And I'm a bit of a smartass. Most of the time, again, I can look past those demons, and I have enough people around me now that I can just calm things down, right? Get a nice cold Dr. Pepper or whatever it may be, and we talk about other things. My guy was heated that he didn't get to watch the Glenville and Archbishop Hoban game. Kept coming at me. Said we were essentially trash, and that I always come back with, especially when these broadcasts are free to the public and are paid for by advertisers. I simply said, I'm happy to send you a refund. Please let me know what your address is, and I'll send you the refund. Now, obviously, that was me being a little facetious because I know that he didn't pay anything for this game. And oh, by the way, I knew that there was no game happening. Glenville versus Archbishop Hoban, Archbishop Hoban, but you cannot tell this guy that enough, because it doesn't matter. Like, he's looking for his pound of flesh no matter what I do. And I was just like, hey, let's go with it. He said, no, you don't need to send me anything because it didn't cost me anything. And I said, oh, okay. Anthony, I'd be damned if he didn't send me another message, another one, saying how bad YSN is. And I asked him, to his point on the voicemail, of where have we wronged you? Show us where we hurt you, sir. And he said, I can never get the damn game that I want. And I said, here's every Hoban game. Every single one. And I gave him the link, everything. I just want to watch the game. And I said, sir, you can watch the game this Friday at 7 p.m. on YSN Live on the Archbishop Hoban channel. I promise you it'll be there. We've already put it out there. We've already got the announcing team. We've already everything. I'm still waiting for a reply. I don't know what he was watching, Anthony. I guess that's where I'm. He is the kind of guy that he's the guy that clicks the ads and then buys something, and then we get in trouble for it.
Probably not on the right link. Probably trying to watch Hoban on Boardman's page or something. And then surprised that he can't find the Hoban game. He's what we do. We want to out the class that he graduated in? Is that too specific? He's very old.
Yeah, we're not going to out him.
So
he's old.
We won't add the class. He's a part of the older generation.
I mean, it is what it is. And I think you can probably tell that from the voicemail, but it's like, if there's something wrong with a feed, we'll usually address it, or we'll pull the link off of our site because there's an issue with an announcer or technical difficulties. And usually, you're very good at putting up in our social media that we're having technical difficulties with something, and we're just going to either yank it or it's going to take us a minute to do it. Boy, I am real interested about like what do you do if there was no YSN in that situation? Like, where do you watch your games?
In person or in bust, because that's all you got.
I mean, I'm trying not to be, and again, very sensitive on Friday, because I mean, you've seen my schedule on Fridays. There's just no breathing room, none, until I get back here, and then
and even then you have to hear about some of the stuff that happened during the night, some of the technical difficulties, and then
that I had no idea about.
Yep.
Zero. And then I'm eating my Bellaria like angrily. Just like, oh man, just hey, that closes up the opening and inaugural edition of the YSN Mailbag, and we thank that gentleman very much for his concern about the Archbishop Hoban versus Glenville game, which you can watch right here on YSN this Friday night at 7 p.m. only on your sports network. Is that good enough for? No, we got to do Spark. Let's bring. I hope you have a positive spark here, Ant. I really do. We have another comment we have to get to here. Kyle,
I will be at Jefferson on Wednesday, Kyle, but DJ's got some stuff to do on Wednesdays. He's at the Middle Ridge live show from the Post Office Pub. So as much as I would love to call a volleyball game with DJ for the first time in a long time, it'll just be me there at Jefferson. Just be me.
You don't want me calling that volleyball game with Anthony. We wouldn't talk a whole lot of volleyball, I'm guessing. It would just be I think we do a good job.
We haven't done a volleyball game together since we did the district championships at Salem. I think between Springfield and Crestview back in like 2019.
I don't know how
it's been a minute.
How you place that in your Rolodex of a mind, I have no idea, because I couldn't tell you. Did we do a Wellsville game late?
We did like the press we used to do like the little pregame show on our phone. So I remember doing that at the top of the Salem weight room.
Yeah. Ugh. Memories.
I think you did Wellsville with Gary.
Okay.
I've done one Wellsville game with Gary, but we went up to Strongsville to do it with him. It was like a regional regional.
I'm trying to get the full count of how many games we've done. I wait till you see the number. The first number that was presented to me was a whole lot. a whole lot. Like a whole lot. Like 20,000 broadcasts.
Whew.
But if you think about it, that's probably right.
Yeah.
That's probably right. You got this thing every day. Then you've got, I mean, that's not, it's not counting our interviews. But we can find that out real fast. Interviews. As long as I don't get kicked off. Let me know if I get kicked off. Did I get kicked off?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know how you'd even find that on the YouTube channel. But I saw our numbers for social. Oh my gosh. Almost embarrassing. Like embarrassment of riches.
Right. We're doing well. We're blessed. Highly
We're
favored.
very blessed.
Highly favored.
I just told Z about scoring touchdowns, how you don't brag. And here I am. I apologize.
You definitely don't drop the ball before you get through past the goal line.
No. We better see DJ for some baseball.
Well, you know DJ
You
will be at
will.
baseball. You can't keep DJ out of baseball.
I mean, there's
His favorite
listen,
sport.
Yeah, there's no shows in the spring or the winter. Like we are no way. No shows. Not gonna happen. They're too hard to do. They're hard to do in the fall. But the winter and spring, we tried winter. That did not go well. Shout out Billy Stanton. That did not go well. And then spring's just not happening. Because spring we go down to Myrtle, which I'm very excited for this year. There's a lot of teams going down to Myrtle. So trying to get one Anthony Ronald Hartwig to float down to Myrtle Beach.
We'll see. I think this is the last year my mom will be working at the school.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's a big nope.
So we're just waiting on that retirement. Then she'll be like, let's do it.
Let's go Myrtle Beach all the way. Before we talk about any more about Myrtle Beach, we got to go to our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric and their Joe Dickey Electric Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and you can visit them just like at YSN 24/7, 365 at DickeyElectric.com. Buddy.
My spark today, a very positive spark. I'm excited about the interviews that we have scheduled for this week and we have some live ones, but we have some off-air ones that I'm excited about too. We have some heroes that are going to be popping up on the player profiles on the website and social medias. Just got Brandon Baguki this morning, who caught the game-winning touchdown from Garfield. Got Anthony Pastella coming up a little bit later on this afternoon, who caught the game-winning touchdown for Struthers. We're going to have Hannah Timmons later on this week, who kicked the game-winning PAT for Garfield as well. So we have some heroes wearing some capes this week that are going to be featured on the website that I'm very excited for.
On top of that, Hannah might be breaking news here. Up for Big Dog of the Valley for football. I think this is the first ever female that has been up for football.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be incredible. So, hey, I don't know who she's up against. Well, I do. But the five gentlemen she's up against, little girl power in the football category.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really interested to see how she stacks up against but congratulations. Congratulations. I mean, making history not only on YSN on Friday night, but YSN starting tomorrow. We will have the Big Dog of the Valley reveals whenever I get home and are able to publish it to our social medias. Did you see that catch yet, by the way? The Crestview one from over the weekend?
Oh,
From
yes.
Little Rebels. Oh, my gosh. Whew. That was one of the best catches we've seen all year. Okay.
DJ's like, I'll do it. I'll put a little kid up for Big Dogs. I don't care.
I think they should have their own Big Dog, if we're being honest. But we need a sleeper of the week, and who is your sleeper of the week?
Sleeper of the week. Let's see.
Nothing like putting you on the spot. right
I
before we
I
leave.
would give it to Anthony Pastella for catching the game-winning touchdown for Struthers, giving them their first win of the year on the road against Lakeview. I mean, that was a sleeper. I don't think anyone kind of gave Struthers a huge shot to get a win in the NE8 this year. They definitely were struggling, and they went on the road to Lakeview. They were down. They had to have 2 dramatic passes just to get them to that opportunity to get a touchdown. And they hit them both. 2 40-yard passes in consecutive 40-ish, not exactly 40-ish yard passes to get them into the promised land to get them that win. So I would give it to Anthony Pastella. He might be up for Big Dog. I don't know what the list for football looks like, but if he's not, he
Well,
should
if we're
probably get
revealing.
Sleeper
Yeah,
of the week.
he's on that too. But hey, if Anthony is going to put that on the table, I'll stamp it. Pastella, you are the sleeper of the week, presented by Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop, and contact us. We'll put a graphic out there, but contact us and we will get you your free shirt provided by our friends over at Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop. It's a sick shirt, blue shirt. Greatness never sleeps, which I love that
Yes.
message with the YSN Sleepy Hollow logos on the back. So there's your sleeper of the week, presented by Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop. How about that, Ant? It's called doing business.
That's how we do it.
Getting it done. That is your show for this Monday, this Overreaction Monday, the 6th of October, 2025. We are going to be better tomorrow. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we are certainly looking forward to seeing you yet again. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to Anthony Hartwig, the 8-time best-selling author, Grammy Award winner, World Traveler, and also Emmy Award winner. Thanks to the professor, Greg McAfee, for stopping by the show today. And as always, thank you to all of you that make this show possible and we lead these stupid lives that we get to cover our dreams every single day. Anthony, may the sports be with you, pal.
And you, my friend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.